Hey, what's up, Animaniacs? My name is Arnimane, and welcome to another episode of Would You Rather. This is episode number 86. And if you missed any of the previous episodes, make sure you click on the link in the description below. It'll take you to the entire playlist. And of course, if you do enjoy this episode, make sure you hit that like button for me. Show your support for the series, show your support for the channel. And of course, if you have any Would You Rather questions you'd like me to answer in future episodes of Would You Rather, make sure you leave them down in the comments section below. And of course, feel free to answer any of today's Would You Rather questions down in the comments as well. But anyways, with all that out of the way, let's jump into this week's Would You Rather questions. Starting us off this week, we have Dark Teen Titan, who asks, would you rather only have sex with no strings attached or never have sex at all? Well, I think this is pretty obvious. I think this is one of those like one-sided questions. Why would I want to never have sex? Sex is probably one of the greatest things. There's three great things in the world: boobs, tits, and sex. Anyways, so obviously I think I would much rather take the have sex with no strings attached. I think honestly I think that's probably like one of the like men's most wanted dreams, you know, is to just have sex with no strings attached, just daily sex all the time, blah blah blah. I mean, of course it just means that I never have a relationship. Actually, not really. I mean, because it says I can't have sex with strings attached. Like, but if I have a girlfriend, we never have sex, right? But we have an open relationship where I can have sex with other people, she can have sex with other people, then it all gonna work out, right? I think I'll be okay with that. And like, given that certain circumstance, I think I would be okay with it. You know, if I was never able to have sex with my actual girlfriend, but I could have sex with anybody else, no strings attached, I'd be okay with that. So, but I mean, to live a life with no sex, I'm sorry, I'm missing out on way too fucking much, and I don't think I want to travel down that road. So, I'm gonna go ahead and have sex, no strings attached, and of course, loophole right there, I'm gonna get myself a girlfriend, and we'll just have an open relationship. Boom, bing, pow, done. Let's move on to our next question. Our next question comes in from Michelle G, who asks, would you rather work for Google or work for Apple? Why do I have a slight thing? It was asked before. Maybe it was a variant of it. Google or Apple and someone else. I don't know. Microsoft. I think that's what it was. And it's really tough. Like, because you know, YouTube is part of Google and all that stuff. It would be really cool to work for. I can't remember. Is it Apple or Microsoft that's on the decline right now? I honestly can't remember. Like, I kind of want to work for Apple because I love technology. I love going, you know, using, you know, electronics and stuff like that. And I think it would be really fun, a really cool experience for me to get involved with. But at the same time, I think Google's taking over though. I mean, like Google, they bought YouTube, they bought a whole bunch of other things, and you know, YouTube is only growing and growing. It is something that is like just blowing up. Well, it probably already has blown up, but it just continues to get more views, more hits, new users every day. And so I kind of want to put my money on Google. So I think I would much rather work for Google. Well, this is work for Google, not who would I want to extort the most money out of, right? So if it comes down to that, if you wanted to put it like that, just like who I would be the most happiest working for, either Google or Apple, probably Apple. Like I said, electronics, that's, you know, that's what get my panties wet in life. So I probably want to work for Apple, but if in terms of, you know, future wise, making the most money and stuff like that, I would probably go with Google. But it does say who would I rather work for, Google or Apple, so I'm probably gonna go with Apple for this one. But anyways, thank you for your question, Michelle G. Let's move on to the next one. Quino asks, would you rather get circumcised without anesthetics, whatever, or get exercise? I think that's what you meant by exorcist, or however it was that you spelled it. I think I did look up that word. It wasn't a word that popped up in Google. Everything just came back with exorcist and exercised. So that's what I'm going to assume what it is. If it's not what you meant, feel free to go ahead and resubmit your would you rather question, and I'll fix it up or whatever. Whatever. I'll do research, blah blah blah. But I did look up for both sides, like you asked, and so exorcism or exercise is to be exorcised means to have an exorcism performed on you, which is a religious practice to remove demons or spirits or whatever from someone's body that is possessing it. In case you did not know, that little lesson there. And so I mean, if I'm like, because I could have one performed on myself, right? But it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to actually have a demon inside me, right? I mean, let's be real here. You didn't say be exercised because I have a demon inside me. You just said be exercised. So I'm probably gonna take that route because that's obviously less painful. Well, I'm gonna have some holy water and splash on my face, and then read the Holy Bible a couple times and all that stuff. And as long as I have a decent performance, I think I should be okay at what people believing me. But being circumcised without any, something to get rid of the pain, that's pretty brutal. Especially on my penis. I mean, let's be real. Even if I was possessed by a demon to be exercised, I think that might be the better route to go anyways. Well, no, that's not true, because like I said, if this was actually true, I was possessed, and and being possessed was true. Not saying I believe or don't believe, but that leads like a long tail emotional scar even if I do survive the exorcism. Of course, this is all based on myth and mythology or whatever. So if I was actually possessed, then I would probably want to go with the circumcision without any kind of painkiller, just because, so I don't feel anything. Just because, that's like the instant pain while being exercised, demon removed from you. That's a long emotional scar that you have to live with for the rest of your life. So, but I'm going to imply a loophole here, because you said I just have to be exercised. You didn't imply that I was being exercised because there's a demon in there. So I'm just going to sit there, get holy water sprayed on my face, read the Holy Bible a couple times, maybe pretend that I'm actually have a demon in me. I don't know. I might have some fun with it. But there you go. That's the answer to your question, Quinn. Thank you for your submission. Let's move on to the next one. Dark Teen Titan has another one for us. He asks, would you rather work in a sex dungeon or own a sex dungeon? And he believes that they are illegal. They're only illegal if there is money being exchanged and both parties are not consenting. That's the only way it is illegal. So if I have a sex dungeon, it's free of charge and everybody is consenting, it is legal. So but let's be honest, would I rather work in it or own one? If I own one, where's the profit coming from? I guess I could probably, there might be like a loophole or something I can work around. Like, you're not paying for sex, you're paying for entrance into the building or entrance onto the property or something along those lines. It's just, you got to pay for a flat rate, and maybe it's a flat rate per hour inside the building. See what I'm saying? Those kind of things, like, I could probably find some kind of workaround. You're not paying for sex, you're paying for entrance into the property or into the building or whatever, or you're paying for time with these men or women, whatever you prefer. And if anything happens, it is because it is up to the person, the person that you're going in with, whether or not to have whatever sex with you, right? I guess that's kind of like how a brothel works. I don't know for sure. These are just facts that I'm spewing out of my ass right now. But yeah, anyways, back to the question: work in a sex dungeon or own a sex dungeon. So basically, what I like to make, I guess, work around sneaky money kind of thing, or none at all if I can't find a workaround, or work in a sex dungeon, get all the money I like, provided that everything is legally done. I don't know, because that's kind of one of those things that's like, do I get to choose the people I sleep with or have sex with in this sex dungeon, or it's just I take whatever client comes my way? You know what I mean? Because I'm not that desperate for women, for sex or companionship or anything like that. So if you get some ugly ass chick with boils all over her face or whatever, has AIDS or whatever, and I have to do it because I'm in a sex or I work in a sex dungeon, then that's gonna really suck. But so I think because of that, just to avoid all the mess, all the STDs and stuff like that, I think I'd much rather own a sex dungeon. Even if I have enough money to just support it without having to charge, because like I said, it is legal as long as both parties are consenting and no money is exchanged between the two party members. So like I said, charge entrance fees, charge entrance into the property or whatever, charge for time with our employees, and if anything happens, then that's their own regard. That's their own problem, not mine. You know what I mean? So, anyways, yeah. So we're gonna own a sex dungeon, and that's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna have a great time owning a sex dungeon. You're all invited. JK, JK. Anyways, thank you for your question, Dark Teen Titan. Let's move on to our next one. Waxy Whisper 3374 asks, would you rather eat your friend's puke every time he pukes for the rest of your life, or have a bull shove its horn up your butt and out your throat once and die? these questions are kind of easy. You're basically more or less you're asking me, do I rather live or do I rather die? And those questions are, to me, is really easy. I much rather take the living route. I much rather sit there and eat my friend's puke every time he pukes. I mean, a good chance that you know, me and my buds were real tight. I'll drink a glass of his spit if I have to, just because, you know, him and I are good friends. And you know, sitting there and eating his puke every time he pukes. My friend doesn't. My best friend, he doesn't puke often. I think he's probably maybe puked 3, maybe 4 times his entire life. So it's not actually that bad. So I think I would probably take that route rather than dying. You know, like I said, like who would ever choose life over death? I mean, maybe if your life was pathetic enough or whatever, it wasn't worth living, you just might rather take the most painful way out and have a fucking bull shove its horn up your ass and out through your mouth and just die. You know what I mean? So like I said, I'm taking the life route here. I'm gonna eat my friend. I'm gonna eat my friend's puke for the rest of my life. Every time he pukes, he'll probably puke maybe 5 more times before he gets out and moves on from this world. So anyways, thank you for your question, Waxy Whisper. I look forward to your next one. And let's move on to the next one. Smashing Snow asks, would you rather it be Yugi or Kaiba from Yu-Gi-Oh? From what I can remember of Yu-Gi-Oh, Kaiba was he the evil character, like the antagonist, or was he also a protagonist with Yugi? I honestly can't remember. But I just remember always thinking Yugi was, I don't know, like, because I remember he has 2 forms, right? I don't know. I honestly can't remember. My fucking Yu-Gi-Oh trivia is shot. I honestly can't remember. But then he had 2 forms. Like he had his normal, like, I guess, lucky go cheery self or whatever. Then he had like his badass persona, or maybe it was something inside of him. Maybe he, I don't know. Anyways, he had some kind of persona that kind of comes out when you're playing the card game. So I think I would probably rather be Yugi. I mean, like I said, I don't remember much about Kaiba. I'm not even sure if I'm saying his name right. Kiba? I think it's Kaiba. But anyways, so I'd much rather pick Yugi. It kind of reminds me of Yugi Bitter. Is it Yugi? No, Yogi. Anyways, what am I talking about? Yeah, so I'd much rather be Yugi just because I think, especially his alternate persona thing, pretty badass. But the normal version of Yugi, actually, no, do these guys have the same names when they transform, or are they 2 different entities? But anyways, and his normal form, he just seems like a real really chill dude. But anyways, thank you for your question, Smashing Snow. Let's move on to the next one. Actually, Smashing Snow has one more for us. He asks, would you rather have to eat your shit every time you shit, or have to drink your piss every time you piss? I think I had a question similar to this before, and see, the thing is, like, when it comes to eating shit, you can't really do anything with it, right? Because there's no stipulation here saying that I have to eat it right away. I can't prepare it. I can't do anything with it. So when it comes to shit, like, you put it in a glass, you put it in a bowl or a glass or something. You got to eat it the way it is. I make sure I can wait for it to cool down, but I just don't think cool shit would be any better than warm shit, or vice versa. So. But when it comes down to drinking piss, I don't know what it is. Maybe I find like it's easier for me to drink something disgusting than it is to eat something disgusting. Like, I've eaten like many disgusting stuff before. Like, I've had Kraft macaroni and cheese all put together, and then, you know, inside of and then I put tomato soup was added to it, and not tomato soup, sorry, chicken noodle soup. You know, it's just a bunch of absurd things, combinations that you were like, oh, that's so gross. Like tuna, like I would put, you know, like those sweet and low or sugar twin packets. I would put that in my tuna melt, and just to make it taste sweeter, and which actually surprisingly is pretty good. Like, I've had a ice cream concoction, just every type of ice cream and toppings for ice cream, even mustard, ketchup, relish, onions, a whole bunch of like condiments that you would find in like hamburgers and hot dogs and stuff thrown in there. And let me tell you, it's much easier. Like, when you scoop it up with your spoon and it's still, like, you know, frozen in its solid state, it's a lot harder to eat than it is if you just wait for it all to melt and just kind of chug it back. And that's the way I feel about this. Like, when it comes down to, you know, would I rather drink my piss or eat my shit? I think I would take the drink my piss every time I piss. You know, just just piss in a glass, throw a couple ice cubes in it, wait for it to be nice and cold, and just chug it back. And kind of just do your best to ignore the smell. I think that's the hardest part, in my opinion. Drinking or eating it or drinking disgusting things, it's the smell. Like the smell on top of the bad taste, kind of what makes you gag. So I kind of hold my breath or pinch my nose or whatever, so I don't smell it, and just so I just chug it back and just go. But that's gonna be tough though, because I piss a lot. I piss a lot more than I shit. But anyways, thank you for your questions, Smashing Snow. Let's move on to our next one. And our last would you rather question comes in from ZACK, who asks, would you rather be a donkey or be a rabbit? I think I'd much rather be a donkey because I'm already an ass as it is. Boom. Comedian Arnimane. Thank you. Bow before me. No, I'm kidding. It's kind of tough because like donkeys are always looked at as like, you know, the stupid animal. You know, always looked down on and stuff like that. While you have a rabbit would have more problems in terms of surviving in this world than a donkey would. I would assume so, but donkeys are used as like pack mules and stuff too. But you know, rabbits, you know, roadkill, and they end up being pets. Actually, you know, that's a good point. You know, if I become a rabbit, well, if I was to be a rabbit, you know, and what if I'm one of those rabbits that you buy from a pet store? You know, it's not so bad. You get to live with a nice family, hopefully a nice family, hopefully not one of those motherfuckers who treats animals horribly. And keep them in, you know, a really small cage. You know, yeah, live with a nice family. Maybe they have one of those places with a huge backyard, and they can let you go out there every now and then. One of my friends do that, which is pretty cool. Has a nice little caged area just to bring the rabbit out and chill outside. But it also has a nice, you know, roaming area or room, or whatever you want to call it, inside the house as well, which is pretty awesome. But you know, it all depends on your owner, right? But donkeys, you know, I don't know. It's hard because, like, again, donkeys probably have more survivability in this world. But then again, you're kind of a slave in some countries, more or less, and being a pack mule or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, I probably, and oh my god, and the worst part is you always gotta eat carrots, lettuce. Ugh, I would hate to be an animal, like a vegetarian animal. Anyways, I've got to go not carnivore, herbivore. I would hate to be a herbivore animal. But anyways. Is that right, or does that only apply to dinosaurs? Anyway, I'm rambling on here. I'm going to be a rabbit, regardless of the size and the diet. I think they're cuter. They probably have a better chance of having a more meaningful life, I guess. I don't know, or a more fun life. I don't know. I don't think I've ever seen a wild donkey either in my life. What do they do in their spare time? That's 101 questions with Arnimane. New series. Anyways, thank you, guys, for watching this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you hit that like button if you did. This, of course, was a combination of the last two episodes of Would You Rather, so that's why there was a couple repeat people in here. But I hope you guys did enjoy, and don't forget to click the subscribe button if you haven't already, and leave your Would You Rather questions down in the comment section below. And as always, stay dirty. Yeah.